There's a lot of parallels between golf and lifting, which a lot of people might not see, though. It's very individual, requires intense commitment, dedication. You don't see results instantly. You know, it takes a long time of being consistent and doing the right things to actually see results, and you can do the right things and not see results. So in that aspect, I think, you know, that's one reason why I love it so much, and why I love golf so much too. You can never reach perfect. You can always be better. And I love that. I love always chasing. 2023 was a good year. Well, I really tracked my stats and finishes hard last year, and the statistics were excellent. If you looked at the statistics on paper, you'd say, wow, that's a really great golfer who had a great season. And I know I had some highlights for sure, but you know, I didn't have some of the performances I was looking for in the bigger tournaments. I know I played well at the State Open, and obviously winning the Signature was a highlight. That was something where I feel like I put that second round specifically, that I put everything together that last day in really, really tough, windy, firm conditions. That version of me is exactly what I'm trying to be every single round in 24. It was something I think about often, actually, and revert back to whenever I'm feeling anxious, or if I feel pressure, I go back there, because I hit a lot of really key shots when I needed to, and that kind of stuff can really build confidence. So my golf has a wide variety of different goal types at the end of each year, and I assess myself how I did with whether it was scoring, whether it was mindset, whether it was process and practice routines, and set new ones based off those while things are still fresh in my mind for the next year. Then I look at them in January and you know, make adjustments and whatever I need to do. Especially then I look at my calendar and the tournament schedule that I want to play, and kind of revise them even further. So I'm always kind of drilling those down, looking at them, keeping them top of mind, or you know, or else they fade into the distance. So it's something I'm always attacking both ways. So captain's putter, can't wait for that. We had the tough tie that turned into a loss at the end of last year. That one was tough to swallow. Me and Brandon, we drove back. It was a little over a 3-hour drive, and we talked on the phone for 2 hours and 49 minutes the whole way home, caravanning. I mean, he was driving right in front of me. I was right behind him. We were on the phone talking about what we can do better, how we can be better players, what we need to do to get over the edge, what we need to do to really rise into that upper echelon of player and be able to contribute more for our team. So that's been front of mind for, I mean, as soon as it ended, I haven't stopped thinking about that. So got to make it a point to be on that team and earn my way there. The U.S. Mid-Am, that qualifier at my home club here at the beautiful Willow Oaks. Psyched that it's here. I couldn't name a better spot for it to be. Hopefully I'll have an advantage there, and get back to the local U.S. Mid-Am at Kinloch. Missing last year was tough. Doing this type of work to feel a certain way to tournaments, it's just a habit. It's about self-belief, honestly. If I know that I'm working hard, if I know that I'm doing all the right things, then I know that I can pull up to a tournament, I can believe I'm one of the best players there, I can believe that I can win it. And then ultimately go out and do that. And you know, luckily last year I was able to prove that I am one of the best players. Those results feed the feeling that you're chasing. It's the climb to the top. It's not being at the top. Being at the top's great, but it's the process, it's the work. Man, you know, I'm getting a little sentimental, getting a little preachy. This builds my mental toughness. Half the time I don't want to be in here, but a mentally tough, disciplined man is not going to do what he wants. He's going to do what he needs to do in order to achieve his goal. So that's why I'm here. And that helps me when I'm having trouble out there on the course. The end goal is to be the best amateur player that I can be. Playing high-level events, win high-level tournaments. That's the goal. Everything I do
Getting it in today on a Monday.
for my body, for my fitness, it revolves around what I want to do with my golf game. Been working really hard. My coach Sean Patterson, we talk almost every single day. He's out here at Willow Oaks. We talk all the time about things that I need to do to get better.
Joey and I have been working together since he was about sophomore in college, so probably 6 or 7 years now. His energy and his positive outlook, not only on golf, but just on life, really makes it not really work for me, truthfully. But right now, currently, what we're trying to work on with him is his wedge control. His distance is there. He drives it really, really straight, which in competition gives him an advantage and puts a lot of wedges in his hand. When we were out at the Mid-Am out at Erin Hills, I looped for him, and every time he had a wedge in his hand, he was getting down on himself. He's walking to the next tee, with head down, he's making pars. And he just kept going back to like, well, I had so many wedges, and it was just getting down on myself, and it was just kind of frustrating. And so we just kind of sat down and had a conversation just about, hey man, like it's okay, like that's okay. We've got a funny saying right now, our kind of mantra this year is strokes gained attitude. And really what that means is when he does have a wedge in his hand or a scoring opportunity, par's a fine score, par's a great score. And mentally, when he's not making birdies and he feels like he should, just trying to stay in it and keep grinding. Don't let your attitude really control yourself, just be more positive. Like I said, strokes gained attitude.
My roommate Connor Burgess, Corn Ferry Tour member, state open champion, him and I talk about how to be better wedge players, how to be better putters, scores with the golf ball. It's been great having him around more and being able to talk with him and spend time with him.
He's one of my best friends, and I just think we both love the game of golf, so he's a really good buddy to have in that aspect. Golf is a hard game. It's just easy for us to communicate, with each other, and we're similar people in terms of when we're on, we can, take it as deep as we possibly can. But I think the main thing for him is to remain, level-headed, and he's going to make a lot of birdies. So you can't let a bad hole or a couple bad shots or a couple bad tournaments affect how you're going to play throughout the rest of the year. I mean, he's one of the best mid-ams there is, and I think he's going to have a pretty good career doing what he does.
Your golf swing, especially as a guy with a job, it's kind of always changing. One week I'm hitting it great, one week I'm not. So just really making sure that I'm doing the right things in practice to maintain a consistent level of play so that when the time comes, I can get the putter hot, I can do all the right things and put some good results on the board.
I think we're close, for this time of year. I would say it's in a good spot. Still a couple things I'd like to improve, which are the things I've been working on, short game, putting, but ball striking feels great. I feel like I'm ready to go out and compete, but I feel like I'm close to being just like a little bit better, which will help me play at a higher level, compete to win in tournaments, which is what I'm trying to do. It's been great today to play with Connor, play with Joey, Sean. Good to play with this level of competition, which is what we're going to see here in the next couple weeks when things really get kicked off. I think reps, and specifically tournament reps, are going to help a lot, get me to a good place where I need to be middle of the summer. But what I'm really trying to do this year is be ready late April, right when things really kick off with the Fox Puss. Last couple of years I've been really feeling good about everything in August. August is a big month. You got the Valentine, you got the U.S. Mid-Am qualifier the same week. So I hope to be in that state by August. What I've really tried to do this off season is get ready sooner, be ready in April, be ready in May. For me, fitness is all about maintenance, just trying to stay in shape. I'm not really trying to get bigger, get more powerful or anything like that. So the fitness regimen doesn't really change throughout the year. Actually, I feel like I play better if I have been working out recently. So, I try to work out 2-3 times a week. And I kind of like the feeling of playing the day after, I've done a workout. So a little tight. It's just kind of like a personal preference. Over the winter, I'll often test things that I feel like, could be better in the bag. I like the building aspect just from my profession. I like to be hands-on, so I definitely enjoy that part of it, but you know, when I'm on the golf course, I just want to have something that I know that I can trust. This winter, I've messed with driver and fairway woods a little bit, so you know, a lot of those shafts are things that I've either tried or will try, but the goal is, you know, towards the end of March to be done with all that. 2022, I think, was the year that the improvement of my game really started to show. The culmination of that was in August of 2022. Signed up late for the Valentine, ended up playing in the event and winning the event, which was not an expectation that I had. I just wanted to put together 3 good rounds. That for me just, I think, really changed where my game was, just for me personally, mentally. Gave me that confidence going into last year, right? Which, you know, then put me in a spot to qualify for the US Mid-Am, which was a huge goal. 2023 was, I would say, an overall solid year. I would say the last 2 years, I've improved my game in different ways. And I think last year was more of a sign of consistency. A lot of good finishes from beginning to end of the year. And then I think the highlights were qualifying for the US Mid-Am, which was a really big goal for me. I think it also taught me a lot about my game. I think I expected to need my A+ game just to make the cut, make match play. I probably had my B game and really was just barely outside of the cut line. So I think it proved to me that I've got what it takes to compete at that level. Now that I've done it once, hopefully the next time, you know, I'll be much more comfortable. But I'm definitely eager to get back. And this year, with the tournament being here at, you know, Kinloch, co-host Independence, to sleep in my own bed and play in a US Mid-Am, I mean, how cool would that be? So, you know, that's obviously a goal for the year. And then the last thing last year is the first chance I had to play in the Captain's Putter matches, which, you know, was a ton of fun, and what a cool way to wrap up the year. For 24, I think the big thing for me has always been short game. So spent a little bit more time this off season working on, you know, putting, a little bit on chipping. The putting's where, for me, it's always been the reason I've had a really good round, or just an okay round, or bad round. I feel like the ball striking for me is fairly consistent. You know, I'm a self-taught golfer, so everything in the game is just what feels natural. So fortunate in the long game that what feels natural works. And then I think, you know, putting, what feels natural works sometimes, but not all the time. The biggest thing is it's a challenge. It's a challenging game. It's a hard game. And I think because it's hard to kind of figure out, that's what I love about it. But I always want to kind of figure things out. And I think that's what kind of drives me. But, you know, you layer in now that, you know, I've gotten a little taste of National Mid-Am golf, and knowing that I can compete, you know, I want to go back and I want to do better. You know, that's in the back of my head, but also just kind of trying to solve the problem. So you put those two together, and that's the motivation for me.